I think that after more than 20 years, and the point where free software, open source software is today, we have to collaborate closely, community and companies, because there's no other way of making open source successful, because for deployment in enterprises, the community will never be a good subject. We need companies that are able to invest, to create a background for the company to become a user that provides support. I've always been a believer in this, because if you think that I was the person that created the LibreOffice certification project, and I insisted, and it took me several years. I think I mentioned the first time certification in 2005 at OpenOffice, and at the time people told me, that's a terrible idea. And then in 2010 they started to say, okay, that's an idea we may investigate. And then in 2014 we launched the project, because it was clear that companies or organizations like the French government will never deploy LibreOffice if there is a community of volunteers. They will deploy LibreOffice if there is a community of companies that make their business, they make money to contribute to open source. So what is important is that the companies stay loyal to open source. So no open core, no false open source licenses, because that is not open source. That prevents the community of contributing to the project. So Collabora Online, to me, is the version of LibreOffice for the cloud. Of course, being from one company, that means that, and being the code open source, that means that there could be an alternative to Collabora Online. Today, there is not one, but in the future there might be an alternative, because that is the beauty of open source. We have developed the concept of LibreOffice technology exactly for this, because we want all these companies that are contributing to LibreOffice to have a brand which they can share proudly, because they develop their product on the LibreOffice source code. So I think that Collabora, apart from doing a very good job in terms of technical terms, is helping a lot the community. Unfortunately, that is not always understood by the community. There is a research that says that open source in Europe, just in Europe, is worth 5 billion euro. No one will associate open source to an industry worth 5 billion euro. So this is something that we all should mention. We are part of a $5 billion euro industry. We are maybe a tiny percentage of that, but together we count for 5 billion euro, which is a sizable market.